I'm on a mission to help my friend grow her nails with regular gel manicures. The problem is her nails really struggle to keep gel on. I did her first manicure about 3 weeks ago and now she's back and this is what we're dealing with. I'd give this retention like maybe a C. It's not too bad. There's a little bit of gel lifting on some of the nails where the gel is still on, and somehow 2 of the nails magically came all the way off and there's a little bit of damage left behind too. We're gonna fix it up, do a fully new manicure today, and I'm gonna make some changes and I'll explain everything that I'm doing along the way. And if we haven't met yet, I'm Kara. I'm a licensed nail tech and educator. And if you like videos about doing nails and lots of tips and tricks and education and new products, be sure to subscribe so that you don't miss anything. I would love to have you stick around. The very first thing I'm doing before any prep is dehydrating and cleansing with isopropyl alcohol. Just in case there's any oils on her nails, this will prevent them from just getting spread around her nails and around the skin. I'm doing a fully dry manicure, so I want to make sure that there are no extra oils or moisture or anything. So that's just going to kick off the process and get us going on the right foot. I'm basically going to rebalance her nails. I'm not going to fully remove them. I'm just going to take off the top coat, the gel color, and then debulk the builder gel underneath. Technically, I want to remove about 80 to 90% of this manicure. Removing and debulking that much of the manicure will help me just check the health of her nails. And also if there's any other like hidden lifting underneath the gel color, I'll be able to see that once I remove that much gel too. I would say I try to take off about 60 to 70% of the gel with my carbide bit, and then the remaining 10 to 20% I'll use my sanding band. One rule of thumb that I swear by is that as you get closer to the natural nail, then you switch to more gentle tools. So with the carbide bit, if I can tell that I'm getting really close to the natural nail, like you can start to see through whatever you're working on, that's a good indication that you've gone far enough and that you should stop and switch to a new tool. With the sanding band, I like to smooth out any ridges left behind from the carbide bit and just even out the surface so that it's much easier to apply the new layers of gel. And this will usually uncover any hidden lifting at this point too. So when I started working on this nail, I could see that there were layers of the gel that were just coming off of the nail, so they weren't adhered properly anymore. And we just want to get rid of those because leaving them on will create a bad lifting cycle for us. And now I'm using a fine diamond bit to exfoliate the cuticle area, get rid of any cuticle that's growing up on the skin, lift up the skin around the cuticle area, and also exfoliate the skin around the cuticle area too. There was some lifting around sort of the cuticle area and sidewalls that I noticed when I was removing it. That area is very delicate because you want to prep it, but you also don't want to over prep it because it's very flexible nail and it could be easily damaged. So my goal is really to just be thorough with removing the cuticle and lifting up the skin so that there's no flooding, but not going over the nail in too many passes because I don't want to cause any like rings of fire or damage the actual nail bed. I'm using the Kinetics Max base coat again because this one really is made for problem lifters and difficult nails. It seemed like it worked pretty well on her nails last time, so I'm going to try it again and see if we can get some similar or better results. So as you guys know, we're kind of in an experimentation mode because we don't really know what products work perfectly for her nails and for her lifestyle. The last builder gel that I used was Nail Thoughts, which is a semi-hard builder gel. I would say that it has like moderate flexibility and adhesion, and sometimes that sort of flexibility on bendy nails can be a disadvantage because the flexibility of the product allows the nails to bend and flex a lot, and sometimes it can just be too much and the gel just lifts, which could possibly be what happened with the previous manicure. So for this manicure, I am actually going to try hard gel. This hard gel doesn't have much adhesion in it at all, which is why you need a base coat underneath, and it has a small amount of flexibility, so it's actually not going to let the nails underneath bend and flex quite as much as the previous builder gel would. The hard gel that I'm using is the Kinetics Gel in Bottle. This product is a little bit harder than Nail Thoughts once it's cured, but it self levels really well. I just think the learning curve from using a semi-hard builder gel to this product specifically is really not very big. It's super user friendly, and if you've never used hard gel before and you're curious, I would highly recommend checking this one out. Last month I had the opportunity to go to New York City with Kinetics, and I did a training with them to become one of their new United States certified educators. I learned all about hard gel, and I really am just obsessed with this product, and so you'll be seeing it a lot more. And if you have any specific questions or want to learn anything about it too, definitely leave a comment and let me know. The strength from hard gel really comes from the way that it's formulated, so you don't need quite as much product as you might with a semi-hard gel, so it can be applied in like a nice thin even layer and still feel really strong. After the overlay is fully cured, this is when I like to shape the nails. I much prefer shaping once builder is on because the nail just has so much more strength and I'm not causing any like damage to the free edge. And also if I shaped before the builder gel, I would have to shape again because gel just kind of changes the shape of the nails. So this is really just saving me a step by doing it at this point. Her nails have already started growing so much since our last manicure too. Since this hard gel self-levels so nicely, I didn't have to do any surface filing, but if you did, you could do it at this point too. She told me she wanted like a bright, fun manicure and she's not afraid of mixing colors. And I have this really fun rainbow magnet gel collection from the brand Gel and Gel. It's a Korean brand that I got from Sweetie Nail Supply and there's 10 different colors in the collection. Some of them are not too different from each other, so we wanted to make sure to pick 5 colors that were pretty distinct. I really love how these have like a vibrant, syrupy, sheer base, but then the magnetic particles are the same across all of the colors. And they're really, really bright and pearly and reflective. They're also very reactive to the magnet. I did use a strong magnet, but I feel like these were just really easy to work with. We ended up doing 2 layers of every color because I feel like the first layer provided like a really nice bright base and the second layer made the color of the base pop even more. And since it's so sheer and glassy, I feel like it made the particles from the first layer look like encapsulated and really shiny and bright. And it just gave it like a really fun 3D glassy effect too. I also really love how these colors look together. I think especially since they're all kind of like vibrant jewel tones, they just go together so well. Another thing I love doing, especially when all of the colors are different, is putting an element on the manicure that kind of ties everything together. So for this one, I did little tiny micro stars. I just did a dot of clear gel on the nail and then put the star on it and cured it in place. I also love that since these are so tiny, you hardly have to even encapsulate them with the top coat. They sit very flush with the nail, so it's just really easy. And also, since they are so tiny, they almost look like a little rhinestone or gem on the nail, and I think it just turned out really, really cute. For the top coat, I'm using Max Top by Kinetics. This and the Max Top have been sold out for a while and they just came back in stock this week, so I will have the link down below if you're interested in trying it out. My friend is really, really hard on her nails, so I wanted to make sure to use a very heavy duty top coat. This is nicely encapsulating the design and keeping the nails still pretty thin, but also adding a nice layer of protection. And I love that this is scratch resistant and stays shiny for a long time too. I knew she was going to be doing some house projects and gardening with this manicure on, so we're pulling out all the stops. And here's the final look. Aren't the colors just so fun together? I think the teal and magenta ones are my favorite, but let me know which color you like best. I'm feeling pretty confident about this manicure, but stay tuned to next week to see how well they lasted and if this hard gel really did do the trick to prevent lifting. Thanks so much for watching. Please let me know if you have any questions. Everything that I use will be linked down below, and be sure to subscribe so that you don't miss any new videos.